don't know what was more appalling, the look on her face, or the fact that as a child, I was accustomed to many days of my life watching her wake up, strip naked, and run within the village of Katwekera. The four of us running after her, holding her down. So when I saw Mrs. Ochieng at the door, I was a bit surprised because at that particular moment, I was trying to hold down my mother, my mother who was suffering from schizophrenia. She was naked, and the four of us were trying to cover her with old sheets that we called our beddings. I saw guilt. I saw heartbreak in her eyes. But in a flick of a second, she left. You see, I became a mother at 11 years. I had 4 children, pardon me. I had 4 siblings to take care of, and a mother who had a mental illness. And as a young child, nobody employs an 11-year-old. So living in an environment like the slums of Kibera, I had to find ways of taking care of my family. And of course, they had to be legal. I started trafficking drugs. Marijuana, locally known as bang to be particular. I went into illicit brew selling and consuming. And the worst of all them, I went into transactional sex. I would trade my body for half a kg of sugar, half a kg of rice to feed my family. You see, when I looked at Mrs. Ochieng that morning, it reminded me, as an 11-year-old, the dream that was in my heart, the desire to be somebody, the desire to have an education, the desire to be called and to be recognized as somebody who's relevant in the society. But that dream had been cut short by poverty. That dream had been cut short by an absent parent, a caregiver. That dream had been cut short by a schizophrenic mother. That dream had further been cut short by this school I called a home. When at 13, I was expelled when I was found with 700 rolls of bag. I walked that morning into Joseph Kang'ethe Primary School, and I was pulled aside by the teacher on duty, and he told me to strip naked. And at that particular moment, I knew what I had in my body. So after my uniform, I removed my sweater and then my uniform, and I had shorts which had 8 pockets, 4 in front and 4 behind, all of them holding 700 rolls of bang. And I knew it was over. And indeed it was over. So that year, 1999, I get what gets to me in September, that I'd been given a chance to go back to school. You see, in those days, if you're found with any illicit substance as a child, you either did juvenile or you were expelled from school. So the teachers opted to expelling me from school. And my dream died. But it never died in me. So what came to me, I was given this chance to go to school, to sit for my last primary education, what we call here as KCP, Kenya Certificate of Primary Education. And in November, I went into this school, very excited. Of course, half stoned, half drunk. Previous night, having slept in someone's arm, I don't remember his name. But there was this chance. There was this chance to sit for my exams. And I walked into this school. And as I walked in, I was ushered aside by the teachers. I was taken into this huge classroom, and I was set aside. And in that class sat a police officer with an AK-47. And I was told I was going to sit for my exams in that class. And to me, that didn't matter. Even if there was a troop of police officers, I had a pen and a pencil, and I had my exam to sit on. So I remember sharpening my pencil with my teeth because I forgot to buy a sharpener. And I sharpened it on the floor, and I constructed my mathematics. I mean, what is math? A game of numbers, English comprehension, and science logic. That has always been my motto. So I left, as I've always done. Went back to my transactional sex, alcohol abuse, and mind-dom, aka bang, aka marijuana. So on the 28th, when the results were out, in Kenya, during that time, parents are excited. I had nobody to get excited for me. So my friend tells me, Stellah, we need to go see these results. And that night we were somewhere having some of the illicit brews, and we woke up one morning and I was still stoned and high, but I had this huge headache, and we cut the lock, aka we had to remove the hangover by drinking more. So I walk into Joseph Kangeve, and I met this teacher who asked me to strip naked. And he shakes my hands and tells me, "Stellah, congratulations." And I look at him and I think, I am stoned. Is he stoned too? And I pass him and I walk into school. And I saw her. I saw Mrs. Ocheng approaching me. And she's ululating. And the rest of the teachers are coming towards me. And they are lifting me up on their shoulders. And for that 11-year-old who desired to be somebody, I felt like a person. I felt like I belonged. Because on their shoulders, I was celebrated. On their shoulders, I was a child. On their shoulders, I had a dream. And they were patting my back. And as they're celebrating me, the head teacher walks in and looks at me. And with her huge characteristic glasses balancing between her face, she looks at me and says, "Stellah, congratulations. Do something about your life. Get something out of you." And my belly, that fire came. It came back again. And ladies and gentlemen, I stand here as a medical doctor with a master's in global health policy and a master's in business administration, healthcare management. I am a health and development expertise because of that dream. Thank you.